And today our adventure will begin right here at the Carolina Beach Lake. No wind this morning, whipping the flags around. Any of you guys who watches this channel with any regularity, that is very rare. I can't remember many times me coming out here starting my videos off and not have a little bit of breeze or wind or something. I mean, I'm not even using my microphone today that I clipped to my collar. I tell you one thing, the ducks are loving this crisp, cool temperatures this morning. They're just having a good time. People's been out here feeding the ducks this morning, and they're just having a good time enjoying themselves out here at the lake. I mean, look at them showing me their booties. Look at that. What is he doing? Or she? Whichever, look at them. They're just all into it. They're mooning me. That one over there just mooned me too. Okay, let's clean it up. Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hitchhiking Yeti here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. If you got a coffee or you're drinking some type of a hot beverage this morning, cheers to you. Thank you for choosing to hang out with me for a moment today as we get out here on the beach, check out what's happening. The beach nourishment project is going hot and heavy right now. They have replenished a lot of sand on the beach. I cannot wait to show you the difference from what it looked like a few weeks ago when I showed you what it looked like and all the beach erosion that we had here on the north end, where it was low tide and the water was just up against the rocks already. That is not a problem no more. They have already done, like Freeman Park made their way down to the north end defunct Carolina Beach pier, and they're on past that, and they're making their way south. So they're making some good time, hard at it. Hopefully this morning they're out, doing some work where I can kind of show you the heavy machinery and what it looks like when they're blowing the sand out of the tube. It's going to be good. Going to be pretty awesome. I do want to address something at the south end of the island before we end our video today, because somebody left a comment last vlog I did talking about this nourishment project where they stayed at I think they stayed at the Riggins condos, I believe is how they stated the name. I think that's what it was called. I know the condos that they're referring to because they have sandbags right in front of them, and those condos literally like set right on the beach. Like there is no sand dune in front of those condos. So I have an answer for them. They want to know, are they getting sand? Do they never get sand? I do have an answer. I'm going to show you why they don't get sand down there or hadn't in the past, and I'm going to answer that question. That's pretty much it. All that being said, thanks for hanging out with me. Let's go ahead and get started. I don't know if you can see my breath. I can see it, man. It's quite cool out here, but it is going to warm up to about 65 today here in the month of December at the beach. Feeling nice. We're only about less than a week away from Christmas. Woo! Christmas time is coming, and I'm so ready. Let's get this started. All right, I made my way down here to the north end. Carolina Beach Pier is just right here. And look at the big tube they have out here to pump the sand out onto the beach. Now the sand obviously has already been pumped here, so the tube extends down the beach quite a bit further where all the magic actually happens. But I wanted to real quick before we walk out here to the water's edge to show you something. So a few weeks ago I was out here showing you guys how bad the erosion was. And I think I stood right here on these rocks and pointed the camera down at right beneath the Carolina Beach fishing pier. And the water line at that time, at low tide, was touching these rocks. And here we are just a few weeks later. Look at the difference. Is that not crazy? Look at all that beach. And everybody are coming out here with their phones, social media, I'm sure, doing exactly what I'm doing and showing the difference of the beach. It amazes me how this whole process unfolds in really a short period of time. The Army Corps of Engineers are pretty smart. They have definitely, this ain't their first rodeo, man, because when they dig in to do this project, they don't waste any time, man. They really get after it. I love how they pile the sand up where you can walk across these monstrous pipes. As you see, it extends on down through there. All right, let's make our way down toward the water's edge. Look at that, the sand pretty much extends all the way out to the end of the old pier. There it is. The beautiful blue Atlantic. And right there is the end of the pier, and we can just almost walk to the end of the pier. Now, back years ago, before the hurricane come through, Matthew and Florence, the pier was quite a bit longer, but still, nonetheless, I still find it fascinating that they made the beach this wide down here. I can't remember in the past if they made the beach like extend out quite this far. I mean, this is something. Hopefully this lasts a little bit longer than last time, you know? It should. That's a lot of beach. A lot of beach. It's a pelican. I just missed him. He just done a swan dive, a dive bomb move to get him a fish this morning, maybe some breakfast. Maybe there was a spot out there and he dove down and grabbed him. There must be a school of fish out there because I just seen another one do it. So, what an absolutely gorgeous morning. Yeah, I gotta imagine if you're an owner of any of these homes right here, you have to be really, really thankful right now that this project takes place every about 3 to 4 years, because if not, the ocean would eventually, I know these are some really big rocks, but it would eventually win. It would eventually move past these rocks and take these homes, just like it does on the Outer Banks. But they don't have to worry about it because of the Nourishment project, which I think is pretty cool. And just stating once again, several weeks ago when I was here right before this whole thing kicked off, I made my way down here. I stood on one of these little piles of rocks and showed you, and we looked this direction. I showed you down through here, and all the water was right up against these rocks, right in front of these homes. And now look at it. Look at all that beach that's here to enjoy. All right, let's move a little bit further south now, down the beach. See if we can get a little bit closer shot. I would like to be able to show you like the sand where it comes out, where it kind of blows it up onto the beach itself. I always think that's really neat, and a lot of people have probably never seen that before. So let's see if we can make our way down south a little bit further and see if we can get a shot of that. They are hard at work. It looks like they're actually either piecing the pipe together right now, or they got a clog in it. Maybe he's kind of tapping on it to loosen the sand up. I'm not really sure, but definitely something's going on from a maintenance standpoint on the pipe itself. But unfortunately, this part of the beach is closed to the public. But this is kind of what it looks like down here, is they're working hard right here in this vicinity. You can see the piping's laid out. The beach is nowhere near as wide, even though they have really started pushing a lot of sand right over here in this area. But man, I was really hoping, yesterday when I looked out here, the sand was just blowing out everywhere, out of the end of it. It was really, really cool. All right, I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up for the Beach Nourishment Project. Just wanted to come down here to give you guys kind of an idea of like what it looks like, what the beach is kind of transforming into for next summer. I think this is a really cool, fascinating little thing I thought some of you might be interested in seeing. And now we're going to make our way down to the Carolina Beach Boardwalk, give you a little update on the bathrooms, the new bathrooms being built there, and then we're going to make our way a little bit further south down to the Kure Beach area, do some stuff down there, and then we're gonna wrap our vlog up. It's been a good one this morning. Starting to warm up, believe it or not. I'm starting to think about kind of dual layered. I might take off one of these and just have a jacket on because that sun is really warming up things quite quickly here this morning. Okay, I've made my way down here to the Carolina Beach Boardwalk area, right here at the Crush and Grind Coffee. And let's just walk up here and check out the beach right in front of the boardwalk, see how the beach looks, and do a little update on the new bathrooms they're building. I really like this, like Easter Island figure holding the taco. That was really smart, whoever painted that. That was a good idea, really cool, got my attention. But right here is indeed the new bathrooms that will be open and ready to be used, supposedly. Things go slow around here sometime, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be open. Look at that. They definitely have gone vertical. We got walls now. They got some cinder block action going on. Got a roof on it. Yeah, this is nice. It is. It really makes me happy to finally see they're gonna have some nice bathrooms here at the beach for people, because it's really grown over the years with popularity and people coming down here, hanging around the boardwalk, and we always had these just a men and women's bathroom, very small. Some people was using it for changing rooms, which backed up the line, which my wife never really enjoyed. She never understood that. Why don't you change before you come to the beach, right? But right there's what it's gonna look like. And I think that looks pretty snazzy. I like it. Even has the little Carolina Beach emblem right there next to the public restrooms signage. Exciting, really cool, coming soon. I wanted to come on this side to give you like a vantage point, kind of show you how some of the construction is going. So as you notice right here below us, you can see where they're building like a rampway. And that ramp is going to go up, and then you're going to walk back up this way, and it's going to have a boardwalk access. It looks like to the top level right there, that opening. You can see where the walkway is actually headed up in that direction. So that is going to be really awesome. You're going to have the upstairs and the downstairs area to use the facilities. And it wouldn't be fair to come out here to the boardwalk and not get one more view of the ocean and the beach before we move a little bit further south down toward Kure Beach. There's a few folks out here this morning on this beautiful morning and taking in the beautiful waves and scenery. Nobody's getting into the water, I can tell you that, but it is still nonetheless, it's very pretty. It's very beautiful. I can feel a little sea breeze kicking in right now, but very little waves out there. All in all, it's very comfortable out here right now at the moment. Okay, that being said, let's continue on down toward Kure Beach now. All right, I've made my way down here to the Kure Beach pier. Unfortunately, we will not be able to walk out the pier today because it is closed for the season. Pier will not reopen to spring of 2026. So I will not be able to make my walk out there to the Misfit sign today, unfortunately. We have to be patient and wait until later on in 2026 before we can go back out there to the Misfit sign. And I was looking at the surfchecks.com cam yesterday, and my goodness, the birds down there have really taken over the end of the pier. You know, they are marking their territory with defecation. That's for sure. But just wanted to make a little pit stop here. I know if I didn't come to this location that somebody might say something, you know. They might say, hey, how about the Misfit sign? If I ever change anything like that, somebody will pipe up. I'm not saying who. They will definitely ask why I didn't do it. So I'm telling you today why we're not doing it. And we will not be doing it until, you know, the spring of 2026. But I am interested to come down here because look, they have already moved some pipes and stuff for Beach Nourishment project all the way down here at Kure Beach, which we're several miles away from where we was at a few minutes ago at the north end of Carolina Beach. They already have piping down here. They have some equipment out here on the beach. And that area that they are in definitely needs some help because it is heavily eroded right there in that area around those drain pipes that pour out into the ocean. As you can see them very easily, you can see them, but probably a month or so from now, you will not see those pipes. They will definitely be buried beneath the sand, and the beach will be a whole lot wider down here in this area, that's for sure. Okay, now we're going to make our way on down to Fort Fisher, walk out on the beach down there, and I'm going to address a viewer who was asking me questions about the riggings, condos, and why they won't pump sand right there. I'm going to show you exactly why. It's a pretty interesting reason why. Some people might know about it. A lot of people probably do not know about it, because how many people actually walks on that section of the beach when they're down here for a vacation? Not very many, unless you're probably staying in those condos. Okay, I have made my way down here to Fort Fisher. It's absolutely beautiful out here this morning. Let me turn you around where you can see what I'm talking about. Right over here is the parking area that I parked in, and the Fort Fisher Aquarium is off into the distance there on the horizon, which it's going to be closed down for the next series of years as they do some upgrades, which I have covered that on the channel. So if you come down next year thinking you're going to go to the Fort Fisher Aquarium, it's going to be closed. Just keep that in mind. But we're going to make our way right down through this pathway, and those condos right there off in the distance is where we're headed to. That is the Riggings condos, and they're in pretty bad shape. I'm going to go up there and show you how close to the water they are, some of the sandbags that they have placed in front to try to protect them. And then we're going to talk about why they will not pump sand and extend that beach to kind of protect those condos. I gotta say, as I walk along the pathway here, I have always loved these trees right here at Fort Fisher. They're just so cool, just how they've grown over the years. Just years upon years of wind coming off the ocean has made them lean back. You know, they all got that little lean away from the water. I just think that is so cool. Okay, now I have made my way out here onto the beach, and right here is the Riggings condominium complex. But I gotta be honest with you, the beach today probably does not really look that bad because you see where the water is, but it's low tide right now. But any other time, if you have like a king tide throughout the year, which you will, you'll have several of them, the water will be right up here on these sandbags. And I can understand people's concern, because this is pretty big time, you know. Even right here on the other side of this fence, I think they have a swimming pool, and the water is that close. So any kind of big tropical system or storm, things like that, really threatens these condominiums down here on the south end, right here at Fort Fisher, here on Pleasure Island. And the whole reason why they cannot do a beach nourishment project has got something to do with these rocks right here. See that little outcropping of rocks? We're going to walk down there, and I'm going to show you those rocks and give you a little history on what they are, and talk about why they will not allow them to be covered with sand. Okay, so I made my way down here to these rocks, which these rocks are actually called coquina rocks. And this is why they will not allow any kind of beach nourishment project to take place. So how it's written is the coquina rock outcropping that has been designated by North Carolina as a National Heritage Area. Federal and state environmental agencies generally prohibit covering or disturbing this rock habitat with pumped sand during a nourishment project. So it is definitely a big no-no. And there is a lot of people that come down here. They love to take photos and pictures of these rocks, especially on a morning like today, because the green, that like mossy green right there on these rocks, is like really bright. It's very, very pretty. I don't know if it's gonna translate in this video or not, but these rocks are the main reason why they will not allow a nourishment project to take place. So from a geological standpoint, this outcropping of rocks is kind of young. But a lot of experts claim that these rocks could be anywhere between 12,000 and 80,000 years old. And that is the main reason why they will not allow them to be covered with a beach nourishment project sand, you know, to help fix this beach up. And you gotta be sitting here thinking that the people that bought these condos or own them, there's like, man, I wish somebody would have told me that before we built all this, right? But there you go. That is why they're not allowed to do a beach replenishment down here in this area, right here in front of these condos. It's kind of sad, really, because the nourishment project itself will be finishing up right around over that berm right there, top of that hill, right on the other side of these because of these rocks right here. So there you go. If you wanted to know, that's the answer. All right, my friends, I think that is going to pretty much wrap it up for me here today at Fort Fisher. Got some stuff to do. Got a Christmas get together to go to and do some family stuff. I just hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season. Everybody be safe out there and be good to one another. That's what it's all about. Till next time, friends, I'm the Hitchhiking Yeti, and I'll see you in my next adventure. Check those pelicans out. Cruising along this morning. They're so graceful and pretty, man. I love watching pelicans fly. It's awesome. All right, y'all stay safe, and I hope to see you all again soon. So long from Pleasure Island, North Carolina. It's been a good one.